What's going on, guys? It is Goalazio here, and welcome back to another FIFA 19 video. Guys, today this is part of my brand new series where I'm trying to help you guys get ready for FIFA 19. Today we are looking at a brand new formation, the 4-5-1, which I'm going to break down for you in very great detail. So when you come to FIFA 19 and go, you know what, I'm going to give that a go. The whole point of this series is to help you improve your game, understand the formations a little bit more, and get yourself ready for FIFA 19. Guys, make sure you do hit that like button. Of course, don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell so you do not miss a single video of mine. But just before we get on into that, guys, let me know in that comment section below which is the best formation you've ever used, because it'd be interesting to see, and maybe I'll break it down in the next episode. But anyway, without further ado, let's go on into the 4-5-1 formation breakdown to get you ready. You at the start might actually try a couple of formations. You might see what works, see what doesn't work. I like to go to the original formation to start off with that I used in previous FIFAs and then work from there. But I'm going to explain it to you in quite great detail what this formation and why it actually works, and also show you some in-game footage of the formation and what I'm explaining to you actually in action. But anyway, let's get on into it. Right, okay, so the formation that I'm actually talking about is the 4-5-1, which is a formation in past FIFAs which I've actually hated. I've not been a fan of at all, and the closest I've ever got to it was actually in a World Cup game where I played a 4-2-3-1, and I've actually pushed my left mid and my right mid up a bit more, so I was essentially playing a 4-3-3 attacking. But this year, the 4-5-1 with an attack midfielder and two central midfielders tends to work really well across all game modes. This includes career mode, ultimate team, and of course pro clubs. I've used it across them all, and it seems to work. But what I'm actually going to do for you right now, I'm going to explain to you each section from defence to midfielder to the actual forward itself, and tell you how it actually works in game and why you should actually give this formation a go. Right, okay, so let's get on into it now. I do apologise, it's really weird writing on a whiteboard, but you'll be able to see the formation here. This is a bog standard defence, right? It's four at the back, we got our left back to our right back, and then we got our goalkeeper there and our two centre backs. But with this formation, what tends to happen a lot more is that we'll see these left backs and right backs push up the field a lot more. So they essentially become wing backs. So you will be able to see your right back and your left back pushing forward a lot more. They tend to do a lot more overlaps in this formation just because there is only a lone striker, so it will tend to work a lot more for you. Considering, so they will do a lot more work, and they do tend to just keep pushing up and down, and it works very well. But some of you may be wondering, right, Dan, this is going to leave us quite exposed at the back. No, it actually won't. So one of the good things with this formation is that these two centre-backs here do not move at all unless you tell them to. Right, the tactics I actually use are very default. I don't tend to put any fancy tactics on and that, other than putting my pace up throughout the game. Normal tactics will leave these two centre-backs here. They will stay solid, and they do not go past our halfway line unless you command them to. That's the good thing with this formation. You've got these on the attacks, and then you've got two solid centre-backs. That's what's going to happen throughout the entire game. You will hardly concede. That's one of the big things I've noticed with this. I tend to be winning games. Something to nil tends to be the common theme, just because of these two solid centre-backs I do actually have here. But to be honest, now that's kind of really it for the actual defence. Like, there's nothing much to it. I just want to explain to you that you will see a lot more overlap runs, which you would have seen in game footage recently just now. They're constantly doing these overlap runs to help you create an attack go on within this game. But one of the big things with this formation is the actual midfield. So let's move on to the midfield now, and I'm going to explain to you how this midfield works. But anyway, like I mentioned, you'll be able to see the formation which have come up on screen as well, that the formation does have a bit of a triangle shape within it. As you can see, I'm just drawing it right now. You tend to have a flat four, and then you have an attacking midfielder just sat in front of the two midfielders. So these midfielders here are a left centre mid and a right centre mid unless you adjust it. But in my opinion, with this formation, there's actually no need to adjust it whatsoever. And let me explain to you the reason why. Let's use the purple for a moment. So let's say you've got your right backs and they're doing their overlap run, right? They are doing their overlap run here. what will tend to happen within this actual play is that this right back here tends to play with the right midfielder. So they'll pass the ball to each other and they'll try and get a through ball off so you can get an overlap run. That's what tends to happen. Very bog standard football explained to you there. But this is what will happen in game when you're playing as it. But one of the big things now, what will actually happen is what will help with the defensive side, right? Because some of you may have been concerned that, Dan, our right backs are pushing forward. We've only got 2 back now. What happens? This is what happens, right? So if we'll use this right-hand side as an example now. If you are playing here, this is what will happen. This player, which is your right centre mid, will go just by here. Literally a tad forward, just so we can give an option here if the ball gets played. And then this is what happens with your left centre mid. He will go here. Literally as simple as that. He will literally cover behind. And what by the looks of things now is that you have a free midfield, but in a straight line. This is literally what you have. So you have this straight line midfield, which makes it quite solid in all fairness. And then, of course, you still got your 3 defenders here. So what happened now, you got your 1 midfielder covering, and then you got your other centre mid just pushing a tad forward. I literally mean a couple of yards. That's all he does. He pushes forwards a couple of yards just to give that option, and then they go on the attack. This is what happens. He pushes forward to get just inside the box, and then this midfielder here, who wasn't involved in this play, will push forward and cover his position. Then he will drop up a little bit. I hope that explains it to you. So what will happen is, ball goes down the wing, attacking midfielder will push into the box, Richie Smallwood, which I got in this position here, will cover that position, and then Frill, who I got in this position, will go there. That's what tends to happen with this formation. So the players will automatically go to those positions to cover yourself. So the good thing with the 5 in midfield is that it will be covered. It will be covered very, very easily. So no matter what style of football you actually play, you're going to be covered. Because even though the style of football I really play is kind of a bit of tick-attacker, lots of through balls, and then your long shot, you are still covered. But this midfield is very good at defending. I kind of want to talk about the defensive side of things to start off with because of this triangle. This triangle I like to call Bermuda because essentially when an opponent goes in there with the ball, they are not coming back out. It is easy as that. You would tend to win the ball straight away within that midfield. No matter what happens, just because of the gaps, the covering is brilliant here. It's an even amount and it will match. The position is very, very good, which will prevent the ball from getting past them. And when you got a solid midfield, the 2 at the back are fine, so that's not too bad, even though you got those on the attack. But that's how the defensive will work. A player will always cover under. It essentially goes into a straight line. That's the best way I could actually describe it. If I could just I'll draw another one here. You tend to get, the best way to actually describe it is that you kind of get yourself across. You get yourself a little plus sign going on in the middle there when you're actually on the attack. So that's what tends to happen with the defensive part of it, is that you will end up having someone covering in this CDM role more than anything. So your 1 midfielder always drops to a CDM. Same will happen on this side, but your right midfielder will come the CDM and your left midfielder will come the attack. It is simple as that. But anyway, what I'm going to do now, I'm just going to rub this off and let's have a quick look at how the attacking works. Right, okay, so let's have a quick look at the attacking side of things and see what actually the big element is to actually winning games. Because I mentioned at the start that I win games 4-5-0 or so, which are absolutely huge results. This tends to happen in Ultimate Team, quite more commonly in Career Mode as well, on Legendary difficulty. But like I mentioned, this triangle here is going to be the biggest part of your success here. The moment you've mastered your passing within this area and been able to manage that triangle, you are on to a winner. And having 1 up front will be very easy to actually use. You might be wondering right now, Dan, how on earth are you getting 5 goals a game with only 1 up front? This is the reason why. This attacking midfielder here, he is the person who orchestrates everything. So in my midfield, I have Bradley Dack. He will get you goals, he will create attacks, he will put through balls, everything. Because this player, so what I'm going to do now, I'm going to draw the box. Let's just say this is your box. 6 yard here. And then we got this here. This is, I've actually drawn out quite well. Where this attacker is right now is essentially where he is every single time. He's evenly distributed between the midfield and the attacker. And the reason this is actually really good for you guys is that he'll be able to, you know what, I can ask for the ball off the midfield. Do I want to put a through ball here? Because you've got options, because he's going to be running up, he's going to be running up. Or do you want to put the through ball there? This is the big thing here. He has so many options. So in total, actually, he has 4 options. He can go out to left wing, right wing, push forward or go back. That's the big thing, because he can orchestrate every single thing here. And for some reason, opponents can't think what you're going to do. You can break open defences very easily. You can split them. That's the big thing. You can actually split them. So if you go out wide, you're going to pull the centre-back and the right-back out. If you go left, you do it that way. If you put a through ball, you split the 2 centre-backs. I do apologise, that's getting a little messy right now. But this bit here, this through ball, which is my killer pass, splits the centre-backs. Splits the centre-backs every single time. Or, if you obviously put another through ball, you split the right back and you split the 1 centre-back, which tends to happen quite often as well. But one of the big things in FIFA this year is your through balls. Your through balls are massive. You will easily win games constantly just by providing a through ball, right? This is what happens. Easy as that. And this is why you'll have so much success with this attacking midfielder. Because you'll be able to see what's happening in game now on the actual footage. It's because, like I mentioned, these through balls just split defences. This through ball here will split defences. The amount of times I've put a through ball here with my midfielder here, the defence they don't know what's going on. So you put a through ball, he comes running onto it, right? And what happens is, as that ball is played out there, this attacking midfielder, right, is going front stick. This striker is going back stick. You've got 2 people already in that, already in there. What will happen then? This is big. This is what tends to happen, right? For some reason, when you go down the left, the right midfielder will go here. Your right midfielder will then fill this gap here, right? So he's going to fill this gap here, right? So that means you've got 1 on the edge of the box, you've got 2 in the box, you've got this right mid who's going to go to this edge of the box, right? And you pat. Cross the ball in, you score, which you would have just seen, or, oh no, the ball's come out. Straight to this midfielder here. Bam. Top corner. That looks like an absolute mess. But I'm hoping what I've just showed you on game as well, because you would have seen some goals of what actually happens. This attacking midfielder here is the biggest compliment you can have. He will orchestrate everything within the game. He takes the ball here. He has 4 options, right? Simple as that. You put through balls, you split the defence. You put the ball out wide, they cross it in. You score. You tend to score. That's a big thing with this formation, right? You've got a lot of cover, you've got a lot of attacking options, and you're very balanced, right? It's not overweighing on the one side. Like, for example, when I've gone a 4-3-2-1, we tend to overweigh on the attacking side, and the defence is not too good. This, perfect. Very, very balanced formation. That's why I always find with a formation. But it's so balanced, but it's also had high volume for each one. So it's not as that you're like, oh yeah, it's a very balanced formation, but you're not going to be getting as many goals. No, it's a very balanced formation, but you're going to be keeping clean sheets. You're going to be scoring goals. I ain't going to bother writing that. You're going to be scoring goals, and you're going to be very, very, very nice passes. So that's the reason you need to go the 4-5-1. It is literally the best formation I think you could actually have in FIFA 18. I kind of hope this explains quite a lot. If I was a manager, I think I would have got my point across. The main point I'm trying to make, this attacking midfielder here, which I draw in circles on about 1 billion times now already, is the person that orchestrates everything. And the other big thing is the defensive side. If someone goes forward, it goes into this 3-dot formation thing that goes on. and it tends to work really, really well. So that formation tends to work absolutely brilliant for me, and I honestly can't fault it right now. Like, it's one of the longest formations I've actually used, just because I tend to switch quite often, but I'm using it quite a lot. But guys, that's it. That's the formation, and I honestly would recommend giving it a go. So what I'm going to give you right now, right, guys, I'm going to give you some advice on the type of players you should have in each position, just because I think that's quite key to actually success, especially this midfielder year. This midfield, you need a good balance. That's why I personally think that I think will work. Okay, right, guys. So let's go with the defense. So the type of player you're going to be wanting in your wing backs, right? You are going to be wanting very pacey customers, right? So you kind of want to be aiming for that pace, right? And the reason I say that is just because with the overlap runs that you're going to be constantly doing and the time they got to keep running back and everything, you're going to need that pace there for your actual wing backs, right? But other than everyone else kind of tends to be in the same position, you're not really switching anyone out. But let's just go into the midfield a second. Let's sort out this triangle. So what I have within mine right now, I have a natural cam, another cam in my centre mid here, and then I have a CDM. You want yourself a CDM and an attacking midfielder in your centre mids. And the reason I say this is because when I've used a central midfielder natural position within this formation, it doesn't work. This triangle here doesn't tend to work as well. If you have a cam, a CDM, and then another cam, it's going to be working an absolute charm for you. And then, of course, you've got your striker, which you do have up front, which you'll have by here. And the players I tend to have is a lot more taller with a bit of pace. So you do kind of want yourself a nice tall striker. I would say at least 5'11" to 6'1". That's probably the size that you're actually going to want up front. Because the thing with this formation, you need him to be tall up front because you're going to be crossing the ball in quite a lot. This attacking midfielder doesn't necessarily need to be tall because he will still jump for headers, but he gets more of a run-in, so he can leap higher. But if I was you, make sure with your midfield, you have yourself a cam, a CDM, and then an attacking midfielder. That's what tends to work for me, and it's worked really well in the past. But anyway, guys, that is my video, and I hope you all did enjoy it. It was slightly different. I want to bring out the whiteboard, and I hope I explained it to you to actually go, you know what, Dan, I'm actually going to give this formation a go. I think it's a really fun formation. I think it's honestly, don't knock it until you try it. But it is one of the best formations I think I've used in all FIFAs. Actually, I need to reiterate that within FIFA 18, just because I've hated 4-5-1 in the past, but this year I absolutely love it. But anyway, guys, let me know in our comment section below your favourite FIFA 18 formation. Of course, let me know, do you want to see more videos like this, and we could possibly break down more formations and explain to you in quite great detail on why they're actually good and how they actually work. But yeah, anyway, guys, let me know in our comment section below. Of course, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe for plenty more videos. But anyway, that's my tactics, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye. Thanks for watching, guys. Make sure you do hit that subscribe button, of course the notification bell, so you do not miss a single video of mine. And while you're down there, make sure you hit that like button and share with your friends. But guys, I've got 2 videos lined up for you. I've got one which is a previous episode in this series, so make sure you do check that out. And of course, I got a random video of the day, which I thought, you know what, you guys might actually quite enjoy this. So check that out, share with your friends, and of course, drop the like. But I got some exclusive stuff going up on my social media accounts, on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook, all at This Is Goalazio. So make sure you go follow me up on those. The links are in the description below. But anyway, guys, that is the end of this video. Make sure you do subscribe for plenty more content. And my name is Goalazio, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.